Welcome, ladies and gents, and we're here to do a review for Arkham Origins, because I've done my review for Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and Arkham Knight, so let's do this now. The reason I haven't done this is because it's not from Rocksteady, but now it's like, might as well just do it. You know, I did the rest of the Arkham games, so hope you enjoy this review, and stick around. Now, of course, here's a shot of Batman, and of course it's young Batman since it's an origin story. And of course, your enemies will define you, which they do in this game, and Black Mask puts up a bounty for Batman's head, or otherwise kill him, basically, for $50 million, and that brings 8 assassins to Gotham City to try to bring down the Batman. Now, I'll try to name all the assassins I know right off the top of my head, and if I forget one, I apologize, but so there's Deathstroke, Deadshot, Killer Croc, Firefly, Shiva, Electrocutioner. Okay, I know I'm forgetting a few, but you know what I'm talking about. I got at least some of them. But yeah, they're assassins that Batman encounters for the first time. So, of course, you encounter them over the game, which the story is good. It's good, but it's not great. It's a pretty basic story, but I mean, I guess if you want to go with an origin story, I guess it works, but of course, you know, remember, this is just my opinion. I mean, if you think it's a great story, that's fine with me. I'm not going to argue, okay? And now here's a shot of Deathstroke, which, of course, Deathstroke is my favorite villain or comic book character of all time. I just love his character. And, of course, he's young in this game, so, you know, he's not, you know, fully trained or anything yet. It's just him starting out, so, of course, he's probably not that much of a threat yet, but he's still a great character. I mean, I was kind of disappointed on how he was involved in this game. I thought he would have been a bigger part of the game, but he wasn't. Like, you just meet him on the final offer ship, and you fight him, and he's gone. It's like, really, Deathstroke, that's all you got? So I was kind of disappointed with that, but I mean, it's fine. I still like that Deathstroke was in this game, of course. Here's a shot of Deadshot, of course, or Floyd Lawton. And now this is now is the time where I'm probably going to go over like the pros and cons of this game or whatever, like the pluses and negatives. You get it. Like the pluses of this game, you're in Gotham. Obviously, there's North Gotham and there's South Gotham. Now, the reason I'm just saying that because I don't remember all the districts or whatever, so I'm just going to call them North Gotham and South Gotham. Now, North Gotham we've all been to before. That's the future to be Arkham City. South Gotham was new for us. You know, it had the Royal Hotel and probably a couple of other buildings that I don't remember, but Gotham's pretty big in this game. I mean, I think it's bigger than Arkham Knight, but I mean, but of course, you know, then that's probably why the graphics aren't so great. I mean, that's just my opinion, but the one thing I hate, though, about, you know, them being divided, North Gotham, South Gotham, is that you have to go across Gotham Pioneers Bridge, and I hate that a lot. That's why I tried to get the Batwing fast travel as fast as I could for South and North Gotham, so I could just, you know, use that instead of having to go across that long bridge. Okay, now let's get back to the pluses of this game, and that is, of course, you encounter these people for the first time, which that's neat and everything. It's a cool concept. And multiplayer. I am actually a fan of the multiplayer. I like it. I mean, I just like how you can actually feel like you're a thug, and then you actually get scared of someone playing Batman is about to get you. I mean, it scares the crap out of me because I'm just thinking, oh, I'm fine. Then boom, someone playing Batman comes down and gets you. It's scary. But, of course, well, then if you're Batman or Robin, then, of course, you intimidate them. But that's the whole point. But, yeah, the multiplayer I actually really like in the game, you know. So, but then it's just my opinion. If you don't like the multiplayer, of course, that's fine. Now, let's see. I'm trying to think if there's any other pluses. I guess the Batcave, you can go to the Batcave. I guess that's kind of a plus. I think that might be it for well, I guess the characters. Yeah, the characters, that's another plus, of course. Like, all the assassins are cool. Yeah, that's all I can really remember. Let's go to the negatives. The negatives, of course. There's a lot that I could point out, so let me think. And here's one problem right there, as you can see on the screen. Now, it's not Black Mask himself, it's just who the main antagonist turned out to be, that which I will get to to the end, because that's my biggest issue. But negatives, like I said, the Gotham Pioneers Bridge. That pisses me off a lot. I hate how you have to go all the way across it. It sucks. And how the combat really isn't that great, you know, like, it just doesn't seem that realistic and everything. And how the side missions aren't really that interesting, in my opinion. Like, what I didn't understand is that Deadshot and Shiva, they're one of the 8 assassins, but they're side missions. I don't get it. It's like, well, they're assassins, you know, they should be part of the main story, but instead they're just side missions. But, you know, I don't have a huge problem with that. One thing that I find funny, though, is how Batman can have the Batwing before he has the Batmobile. It's like, so you can build a, you know, a huge futuristic plane, but you can't make a huge car. It's like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense now. Like I've said, this is my biggest issue with the game, and that's why the score ain't going to be that great, because, I mean, the story's good, but this was my biggest issue with the game, which, of course, you were led to believe that Black Mask is really the one that assembled all these assassins or whatever, which I thought, you know what, that's cool. I like Black Mask. I think he's a cool character. But, of course, then you learn that this man turns out to be behind the whole thing, and that is the Joker. And the reason I have an issue with it, it's not that I hate the Joker, it's just that, you know, the Joker was like the main antagonist in Arkham Asylum. Well, yeah, in Arkham Asylum he was. In Arkham City, you could argue if he was the main antagonist. I honestly think it was Hugo Strange in Arkham City, but some people could say it was Joker. You know, it's kind of equally balanced there. And then, of course, Arkham Knight, it wasn't Joker, even though, spoiler alert, I just gave you a second if you wanted to leave the video since I said spoiler alert, that Joker is in Arkham Knight, but he's just in a hallucination. He's not real. He's still dead, but he's in your head. So, and that's one thing that I hated about Arkham Knight, but of course, I don't think I mentioned that in Arkham Knight, my Arkham Knight review, but so I'll just say here that I hated the Joker in Arkham Knight. He was just so freaking annoying, and I hated him a lot. Now, the only thing I really like about this Joker in Arkham Origins is the voice and his personality. Like, Troy Baker, I think, did really good as the Joker. Of course, a lot of people wanted Mark Hamill, but I think Troy Baker did good. I mean, of course, this Joker's more of a psychotic, insane one. I'm not saying that Mark Hamill's isn't crazy or whatever. It's just Mark Hamill's is kind of more jokester stuff. Unlike this one, it's just totally insane. He's going to blow up 10,000 buildings. He doesn't care. But I think it's kind of a good interpretation of the Joker, kind of a good origin. Well, they don't do an origin of him because he doesn't really have one, you know, he just comes out of nowhere. But, yeah, that was just really my main issue with it, and that's why, of course, I didn't give it that high of a score. But, of course, if you're a Joker fan, then you're probably fine with it. But like I said, I'm not going to argue. It's my opinion. You know, if you don't like it, then just point it out or anything. I don't care. But yeah, it's just my opinion. I didn't like how Joker turned out to be the main antagonist. I really wanted it to be Black Mask. And of course, with all of that said, I'm not saying it's a bad game. I'm just saying that, you know, it's a good game if you want to pick it up. Sure. I mean, it's not like my other reviews where, especially Arkham City. If you see my Arkham City one, I tell you like 1,000 times, pick this game up because it's a great game, which it is. But of course, I don't want to get into it in this video. But of course, yeah, if you're a huge Batman fan, then yeah, I suggest you pick this up. But if you're not really a Batman fan or DC fan, then I don't really think this is for you. I mean, like I said, it's a good story, but I mean, it's just, I mean, like I said, it's just my opinion, and of course, if you're mad, it's fine with me, I don't care, but of course, now I will be giving it my score here soon, which of course, it'll be lower than the other Arkham games, for a good reason, my opinion. So, I hope you enjoy the score, which I will explain why I gave it the score. So, here is the score for Batman Arkham Origins. And as you can see right there, it is 9 out of 10. Now, I do base it off of, like, I do go, like, 9.1, 9.6, whatever. I don't just go, like, 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10. I don't do that. I get, like, 9.1, 9.2. So, as you can see, it's 9. It is 0.3 less of Batman Arkham Knight. Now, some of you may think that's unbelievable, okay? I can understand that, but the reason I had an issue with Arkham Knight, which, oh yeah, that brings me to my next point. If you are upset with any of these scores, like, well, if you're upset with this one, then I explained why I gave it, but if you're upset with like the Arkham Asylum score, Arkham City score, or Arkham Knight score, you can just go check those reviews out because I explain why I gave them those scores. So if you're really upset with the Arkham Knight one, that it's like 0.3 more than Arkham Origins because it's 10, I mean it's 9.3. If you're really upset with that, then please go check that out because I explain why I gave it that, because in my opinion, if it weren't for Scarecrow, it would have been a lot lower. So of course, just please go check that review out. And of course, I will be showing my scores for Arkham Asylum and Arkham City and Arkham Knight here quick. But of course, I'm going to explain once again why I gave it this. That's just because, I mean, the story's good, multiplayer is good, but it's just all the flaws, in my opinion, that there were, especially Joker being the main antagonist. But if you like the Joker, then that's probably fine with you. But in my opinion, I just had enough of them. So I just wish Black Mask was the main villain, and some of the boss fights weren't great. But of course, now it's at the point where I show you my reviews for the other Arkham games. And like I said, if you're upset with the score, please just go check those videos out. I explain in those reviews why I gave them those scores. And if you're still upset, then that's fine with me. Like I said, I'm not going to argue. It's just my opinion. And of course, I'd like to see you all next time.
You